My first question, and some of these questions are already questions that came from the survey. Number one is about how did you get your first capital as a young entrepreneur?
Actually, that's a problem. I've run interviews many times. This question come up. I really didn't start my business with money. I started work as a messenger. So my first customer gave me my first capital.
Your first
No, he didn't give it to me as a gift. I work and I earn and I divest.
You work, you earn, and you diverted. You decide to invest in other areas. So you're working, making some money, and putting it into your dreams and
Dreams, yes.
Okay. And you also said you worked as a messenger. That means there was apprenticeship.
Oh yes.
Okay. So many of you are looking asking where did he get his first capital from? He got it from his customers. He was also working and he was saving some of the money into his dreams. So the fact that you're a young entrepreneur does not mean you should go and start. You should also find something new. You start from somewhere in this life.
One of the biggest mistakes we do nowadays, we have big dreams, but we don't work towards our dreams. We have big dreams to be somewhere, to be somebody. But at the end of the day, the steps to take to get there. When I tell people I did not start my business with capital, to start my business with loan. Many a times we run towards cash, and you don't need cash. What you need to build your business is your contacts and your network. Your contacts and your networks give you your capital. Also, I always say that your network is your net worth. But there is an underlying word which we always miss. The word is integrity. You have to be very honest and integrity. I will give you one simple business. We have the buyers and we have the sellers. And we have the center person, which is you. If you walk around, I do two businesses where I found myself, so that it will not be just like a talk. I talk the walk, or I walk the talk. You see a lot of uncompleted buildings around. Anywhere you pass, you see an uncompleted building. Those buildings need stuff. And when you walk on the street of Kumasi, you see a lot of shops. What do you do to connect the two together? Find the need of those building and find the sellers. What the missing word here also is trust. You can walk to a tile shop whilst you try to create a network with the person building. They might need a tile. You can walk to the person who has a tiles warehouse and say, look, I can sell your tiles for you. I can sell 1,000 square meters. Just give me a piece of tile sample. Take the sample to the person who is building the house. Show it to him and tell him I'll supply you 1,000 square meters of these tiles. Go to the same supplier. Go to the one selling it. Tell the person that I've got an order for you, this particular tile. Load, follow me. Supply, take the money, pay, and take your share. I remember some time past, I was selling maize. I come to this place, Kumasi, Sunyani, the maize farmers. I buy maize during the bumper harvest. I normally kept it in Samoa, getting close to Accra. Going into Accra is too expensive for the warehouses. In Samoa is quite moderate. I store it there, get back to my messenger work. Whilst working, just checking on my maize. During the dry season, the lean season, I go to my warehouse, transport all to accommodation. I make 4 times the price. So these are some of the simple, you can be in school, you can be working, you can be anywhere and still make money.
Nice. Nice. We are going to take it from different segments of your life because I have it over here. And I'm sure how many of you have read Dr. McDan's book? Many of you know him as McDan, but it's Dr. Daniel Macaulay. And then the Macaulay and the Dan becomes McDan. But some of you are wondering where it comes from. How many of you have seen this book? Raise your hands, raise your hands. You know, some of you have graduated because McDan has been coming to the university. So every year he's been in Home, he's been in Sunyani, he's been in Kumasi. I think last year.
Last year I was there.
Yes. So many people have the books and some have graduated and they have gone. And this year is your turn. Won't you give a wave of thanks? So in this book, he shared his life story from the beginning to the end, and some of you need to grab this copy. All of you need to grab a copy. Another question I have for you, we take it step by step. You were in India recently, about 3 weeks ago, and you were one of the only African in that particular program.
Yeah.
I think the pictures are there. Some of you can show the pictures. You were cutting the sword. Yeah. Then just this week, you were in South Africa.
Yeah.
And today, he's here in Ghana, Kumasi. How do you handle all this? You are speaking in universities, speaking even in secondary schools, speaking in Asia, speaking in South Africa, and in Ghana. How do you handle all this?
Actually, it's dedication and discipline. You have to love what you do. You have to. I was in India for business, I was in South Africa for business. I'm here giving back. So once you make money, you give back.
Once you make money, you give back. McDan handles one of the largest salt mines in Africa. You can imagine the pressure and the workload. Then the aviation, then shipping and logistics, agri, different sectors. So with all these sectors, he still has the time to go to the universities every single year. And even secondary schools. When I saw the secondary schools, I was like, this one is becoming too much. Because I saw you at Gomwa,
yes,
and I saw you at Ola Girls.
Oh, like
and I'm like, hey. And we have people who are not handling much on their table, but they'll tell you they are very busy. They'll tell you their head is spinning everywhere. Am I alright? So there's so much to learn from Dr. Daniel Macaulay. Because this is a man who is handling serious businesses. You are with a lot of, you are with GIPC, you are with GNPC, you are with AFTA, you are in all over. And you are also having time for the youth. There are very few businessmen in this country who have all these, but they started caliber and have that. So some of these qualities, why do you have giving back? What motivates you to give back?
you know, I was once like you. I was once on the street. With all that I'm doing, the most important for me is you, the youth of this country. We have so much potential and we have so much talent. Many times I ask myself, what I went through, how many youth will be able to go through to survive? It's a very difficult terrain, but it's a land of abundance. If you put out the right attitude, you will surely make it. I like being close to the youth because I want to provide a shoulder for the youth of today that tomorrow I wouldn't be able to see. They will see that tomorrow. If I become a billionaire, I want to see more millionaires around me. What I have right now, already I have started building millionaires out of the youth. Our first McDan challenge, some of the participants are making $1 million now as we speak. This gladdens my heart. So whilst I'm making money, I'm building the next tomorrow also to be better than me. I wouldn't want to be bigger than my children. Immediately I'm bigger than my children, I'm a failure. I want my children to be bigger than me. That is how it is.
At a point in your life, at the beginning, you were selling go foods.
When did you say that?
You are selling go food. You know, sometimes people see, oh, McDan is with jets. McDan is with this, McDan, how can I be there? But they forget you started from somewhere. You sold your fruit on the streets. And today, when I listen to you, even in India, you are one of the few people that challenge people to the $1 billion realm. A person who once sold fruit is now motivating and inspiring the younger ones all over the world into the billion. How did you build that vision and capacity? What helped you from one stage to the other to develop that appetite?
It depends on how you see the world around you. When you are inward, you see inwardness. When you are outward, you see, this sounds strange, but whilst you grow and making money, there's more fun in making other people around you smile. Immediately you put a smile on somebody's face. Let me tell you one thing. When I was young, I went through a lot, and one day I said to myself, before I would say I have gotten somewhere, I want to walk into a shopping mall. Two goals I set to myself. I want to walk into a shopping mall to be able to pick something on the shelf without looking at the price. That's number one. Number two, I want to be challenged by somebody who is really in need. Without thinking, then I'll say, this is for you. And I went through both. I went through without noticing I was going through. I remember in Manhattan, I walked into a shop, I picked a shoe. I didn't have how much it was. I gave my credit card. I got to my hotel and saw people on my phone. The shoe was $2,500. But you know what dropped my mind? I said, look, this $2,500 can feed about 1,000 people back home. It's in it. Though I asked for it, but I was disturbed with it. I woke up one morning and a guy knocked at my door. He said, my wife and my children have been thrown out of the house. And I asked, what do you need? He said, I need this amount of money to rent the house. I wasn't even thinking. I went in. I normally don't keep cash, and I wrote a check for him. Later on, before it dawned on me that these were the two goals I set for myself when I was 16 years old. Back to your question, you notice that as you grow and making money, you become more humble by giving back. The people around you, whilst you keep back transforming you, also they give you more treats. So, the answer to your question, I always want to see smiles on people's face.
That is why the scripture says, God said to Abraham, I will bless you to be a blessing. And that's what you understood. Yeah. So all of you here, you also have to look at how many smiles you want to affect other people's life. And that question, so that's how you build yourself. Another thing is pressure. In Africa, the economy, the workers, the workload, everything. How do you handle pressure? People complain of pressure from grassroots all the way to the top. How do you handle pressure? All kinds of pressure, work pressure, business pressure, social pressure, friend pressure.
I forgot about marriage pressure.
Yeah,
you didn't say that.
Family pressure.
It comes practically as you grow. If you want to complain, you want to see problems, you see 1,000 problems. You got to take it easy. Make pressure your middle name. If you are called high pressure mensa. So, as you see, what is pressure? As a young man, what do you call pressure, especially if you are young and you are in school? I remember I had a serious debate with my kids at home about 2 months ago. They said mental what? Mental what? Huh? I can't hear you. Huh? Mental health right? Where I grew up, you can't say this, you have a mental health problem. You know, my children argue with me a lot. And I said, it's a state of mind. There's nothing like mental health problem because you're under pressure. You'll be under pressure, your mother will lash you. Will you call it you'll be shocked. In your mental health, you're already shocked. When the case, when a case comes in, you reset your mind. So come to the pressure, I will advise you, young men, don't see pressure as pressure. You have to go through that experience. Once you go through experience of pressure, absorb it, and you have more than it takes to absorb pressure. I always say to my wife that look, what will never put you into a trial that you wouldn't be able to surmount. God knows your strength. I never see pressure as pressure. So today, as I'm talking to you, for me, whatever comes as a pressure is normal. In my book, I was granted interview. Okay, don't let me go to
So in page 226, you're talking of a time in your life where you had a warehouse full of coffee. And because of the floods, you had lost the whole concession you had over there. And you had to take a decision. And you said, God inspired you to take the riskier option. You had already acquired some few landed properties. And you could decide to keep it as protection and security or sell everything to start life all over again. And you because we are in a generation where people are afraid.
You know, at times in life, to be successful, you have to be greedy. One, you have to take risks. Two, and you have to be humble. And when it goes bad for you, just lie on your bed, look into the skies and say, it's okay. When you say to yourself, it's okay, it's a new beginning. But immediately you hit yourself with that loss, it will be very difficult for you to revive yourself again. I hoarded a whole warehouse in Enchi, in the Western region, coffee. I was actually buying coffee from the farmers and exporting to Europe. In my hustling days also. I woke up one morning, I was in school. When I came, I had a call that the whole warehouse was flooded. I lost everything. I came back. I even had to sell my own car to pay my 3 workers' salary. And went back to Trotro to work. Then I had 1 or 2 properties. I sold all less than half the price just to revive me again. So it's okay when you take risk and you fail. There's nothing wrong with it. You can never be successful without going through failure.
So people commit, in some of the universities, even secondary school, somebody gets an F grade and they commit suicide. But they have to understand that failure is part of the process.
Failure is part of the process. But you see, don't set yourself to fail. Some of you can set yourself up for failure. But be careful how you do that. There's something called attitude. You have to know your situation, your circumstances. When I was in school, what I hate is to rewrite my exams. Because that would be a very difficult thing for me to do. Because while I was working, I was studying. Why should I allow myself to fail? And go and rewrite? It doesn't make sense. I look at my situation, I look at, I was eating curry once a day. So you have to go and register, learn, work, go back. So if I become like a Jessica and fail my exams, I have myself to blame. If I spend 2 hours with a woman, when I was a nice guy anyway. absorb myself into some kind of reading. So you have to learn petty tricks to surmount at your age and avoid failure. But when it comes, it should be far with you.
So the key lesson here is you don't set yourself for failure. You do whatever it takes to avoid it. But when it comes, you have to rise above it. You have to learn from it. So you lost the concession, you bounce back, and you have gotten. But another point in life to your workers, your employees are disappointed when you left the country.
I didn't leave. I was sitting right at their nose and
They had incurred a huge debt.
you know, in climbing up for great success, the most difficult part of it is human resource. Human beings are very difficult to manage. And why I'm here today, I set up on my own, ask myself, as part of my passion to educate the next generation to be great. I work for somebody. You know, before you become a master, you have to be a servant. It's very difficult to be a good master if you have never served before. And it's always good to serve. And once you serve, you learn a lot of things. When you start your own business, you will understand the lessons of life. Starting business, as I told you, mine wasn't money. Mine was human resource. From the infant stage, you are the accountant, you are the trainer, you are almost everything. You are the managing director, you are everything. But once you walk yourself into that, you see how difficult it is to make good money. And you have to have special skill to understand people. How to understand people? You should humble yourself to understand people. Everybody has his own way of thinking, and it translates or transforms into your organization or when you start business. I woke up one day and I owed a man millions of dollars. I didn't know how it happened. Yet, my accountant have built 2-story buildings. That is for another time. So this is how difficult it is to understand people and manage people.
So those who are committing suicide, they are committing too early. There are more problems coming. There are more problems. So when we look at people, when we look at life, you have to understand people have been through stuff, and it's part of the journey. And what you make out of it, you understanding your perspective, and it guides you to the future. And you are in your early 50s, you are not 80, you are not 90. But looking at the impact of the things you have achieved and conquered, it tells us that at a tender age you will focus.
Oh yes. Attitude. I've never talked anywhere and left out the word attitude. What makes you successful is your attitude. You see, in the 100% trend of becoming successful, 70% is your attitude. 25% is your skill. 5% is your knowledge. Your attitude can take you anywhere you want to go. Your attitude can make you all the money you want to make. And under that attitude, there's a word in there called discipline. Whatever you do to be successful, your attitude has to make you very disciplined. And with that discipline, there will no way you will never make it in life. I mean, all the witches in your house will chase you, they won't catch you. If you have that level of attitude, 70% of it will make you successful.
Attitude. You said it over and over again. 70% of success is your attitude. 25% is your knowledge,
your skill.
And then 5% is your knowledge. 5% is your knowledge. 4 years in university. 5%. Your attitude. You tell someone, meet me at 9 o'clock. The person doesn't have the courtesy to tell you this at a tender age. They tell you, boss, I'm sorry, yesterday because of the rain. No matter how good you are in your craft, your attitude has cut you off. So attitude plays a very significant role. And I was once at your office in the morning. You are looking for a certain pen, and you called your PA to bring a pen, and he didn't have the pen. And he told you if he has gone to search for it and he has not found it, and you go and search for it and you find it, you are deducting his salary.
I'll dismiss it.
You dismiss it. Have you heard? The same McDan who has time to feed the widows, who has time to support the youth, give them startup, he will fire you if you are not able to get the pen, because you are also wasting his time, you are wasting his resource. So his life is a strong balance. So there's so much to learn, because if we're talking of giving back. But that day I'm in the office and he's firing someone because of a what? A pen. May you not be fired because of a pen. Attitude. So, and I realized something. You spoke about your mother or your grandmother, about values, things that shaped you and have taught you virtues and values that help you in life, about integrity, about conscience, and all that stuff.
I remember when I was young, I stole fish in soup. My mother didn't say anything. They waited, I dressed up for school. I was in one cycle school. She followed me to school and announced to the school that I stole fish in the soup. And she herself lashed me in front of assembly. Today, my daughter will tell me it's child abuse. My mother was a very cultured, illiterate, no-nonsense woman. She gave me a lot of values. A value I have to stand up for myself. When I was young, I never lose a fight. If you go and fight and come home crying, my mother will beat you and ask you to go back and fight again. She taught me that in life you fight 3 times. If the person beats you, the second one, the first one, go back for the second fight. If you beat the person, always know that it's left with one last one. And the last one, your technique is you use your teeth as one of your strengths. It sounds funny, but there's a lot of value in it. It tells me that no matter what I have to win, that is what life is all about. Never give up. You know, whenever you want to do something, you want to start something, we have a lot of people around you who tell you this is impossible. You have to make sure that the word impossibility is not in your vocabulary. My mother taught me that. At times, some of the things you do might be crazy. You have the 99% of the people around you who will tell you that, hey, don't try. This is not, you will succeed. Well, they might be right. 99% of the people around you will dare you when you are doing something. It's 2 things. It's either you are making the biggest mistake of your life, or you are making history. Immediately you succeed, you have made history. Immediately you chicken out, then you are giving them the right to be right.
So that comes with aside vision, aspiration, willpower. Harvard did a research and they got 5 or 6 people to come and tick a box. And they deliberately got actors, 4 of them out of the 5, to tick the wrong box. So the 5th one who knew what was right also went to tick the wrong box. When he did the right one, he realized more people are saying this, so let me join them. And they tried about 20 people and 19 of them chose the actors. And they realized that success is not about what you know is right, it's about your willpower to stand for it. So 99% have told him something is wrong, but you had the willpower to go for it. Knowing right is not enough, he had the willpower. And very few people, as you are growing, you have to develop that willpower. That doesn't mean you should be arrogant. Reasonably, you want to stand for what you believe in. Another time I was with you, you are coming from Adam, and you came around 11, 12. We met late in the night. And around 4 or 5 o'clock, you're out of your house. People have the idea that rich men have pot belly and they oversleep. So, but with you, you are always on the run. I've never really seen you oversleeping. You are either here or there or there. What do you say about the youth? Because this youth, some of them will say they are tired, they didn't sleep enough. Some people might be really, and we have someone in his early 50s who was in another country and then another country. He had other programs here. You get to Accra, he's doing something else. You see, and you are young, having the energy, and the thing is weighing down. Where's your strength coming from?
Success. My strength comes from success. You must have what we call motivation for something. I'm here today talking to you. I know if I'm able to touch one person, to make him successful, not giving you money. I don't want to give the youth a hand out. I want to give the youth a hand up. I only sleep 4 hours every day, or less than even 4 hours. It has become part of me because of how I started my life. I don't need to sleep with the alarm, but 4 or 5 I'm already up. And I have to be on the run. My whole life I've never taken a lead before. My wife was asking me not long ago. I pretended I didn't listen to her. She said, when will you take us to a holiday? It hits me on the way, but I pretended as if I didn't hear. And I grew mature out of it. But you see, it has to happen. I have 2 private jets sitting on the tarmac and a helicopter. The whole of last year flew 3 times. It's sad, you know, but you have to do it. You have to wake up. And the trait, one of the traits, number 1 trait of a successful person, never be a early sleeper. What I mean early sleeper, at dawn you have to be up. Start your day early. My peak times are between 4 to 6. At times 7, that's my peak time. Anything after that is activity. Between 4 a.m. to 6, 7 a.m., that's the time I sit, plan my day, send emails, WhatsApp, and all that. It sets me up for the day. Most of my workers, before you wake up, my text message is directly on your phone. I don't want to send you email. You get your email already, all right. But when you see it on your WhatsApp, it will click ring and know you have received it, so you can't give me any excuse. So you start your day early, and you see, you get what you expect. If you want to be a successful person, you get what you expect. You never get what you expect. And that is deep. If you want to grow and grow successful, you always get what you expect. But we are coming from a world where there are excuses, too many excuses. So what do you do to master your own field, your own strength in an environment where everybody is thinking small and giving excuses?
This is a very powerful movement statement, because we've had a lot of that. I'm sure everybody can say that as they go. Life will not give you what you expect, but what you inspect. So what you can't inspect, don't what? People tell you lies. Measure it, evaluate it. That's why you wake up very early to go on the ground. You want to inspect everything and be sure about everything. So what you don't expect, you don't expect. Where is the God factor in all of this in your life? Where is the God factor from the beginning till now? How has God played a role in your success?
God is number one. If you look at my first word is about Zachariah. It's from the book of Zachariah.
Okay.
God factor is very, very important in anything you do. When you don't ask for direction, then you will be in trouble. Don't end before you thank God. Ask God for the way. Right? And anything that comes on your path, even if it is the worst thing you expected, say to yourself, God knows how it happened. But that is, let me tell you a story. When I was young, right, I went for an interview. I was going to be a waiter at a Golden Tulip Hotel. And the woman failed me. And I never understood it till I became a billionaire. And I said, no, that woman wasn't in her flesh. But when I was going for the interview, I prayed to God that God, please allow this woman to give me a job. But she failed me. God was preparing a way for me. So the God factor, when you pray and even bad things happen to you, or bad things come your way, or what you expect, you never get it. God has a purpose.
I think you said the same thing in one of your dialogue with the students in the university, that we should seek God first in all that they do. So those of you who are trying to climb the mountains, don't use your own strength or wisdom and guidance. Seek the face of God and seek the guidance of God. Now let's take questions. Some of the questions I asked are already questions from the survey, but let's take some few questions from here. The reason why we had a dialogue is some of the questions you're going to ask has already been answered, and it also prepare your mind to have the right questions to ask.